What's up YouTube? I'm just another guy and welcome to my Parks to Premier League here with Billericay Town FC. So we're starting our third season in the Premier League now. Hopefully we can kick on from mid-table obscurity like we currently are, 12th and 14th. Isn't ideal. I would have liked to improve on last season. And with that in mind, we're going to go into transfers and just have a look at who we brought in and out. We've got a couple of people already pre-arranged and stuff. Currently Ishmael is being sold. Clelius Carlos, is coming next season. You already know about that. I'll show you that guy. And Alan Brooks is signing from Chelsea in January. So he's another one. I'm already pre-planning. There we go. Pre-planning for the future. I always do that. As soon as even when the transfer window is closing, I'm thinking about next transfer market, things like that. So the outs, Romario, Adrian, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Daniel Loos all got released. I already told you about these two. Chamberlain was just a one-year player anyway. And Daniel Loos, he's been with us for a while now. He was here since, the championship. And I really had big futures for this guy. I really had big plans, but I don't think I gave him enough game time to really develop him. And, in the end, he just slowly faded out of the team. Got a bit more chance in the Premier League. Only scored one goal, and in the end, didn't make a single appearance last year. That's why he was released on a free. He's back in the Championship level. He's not doing too bad, but he just isn't good. He isn't good enough for the Premier League. Probably just good enough for the Championship as well. I mean, he's got some really nice stats for a target man, but then elsewhere, not amazing. Isaac Assar, he went on a free to Leverkusen. He was 31. I always planned to re-sign him, like get him down for another year, but when it come to it, he wanted a bit more wage. And at that point, I think, if I want to knock down maybe only maybe a grand or two off his wage, I have to offer him another year, and I don't want to have a player that is 33 and his stats could be pretty much gone by that age. So I decided, I'll let his contract die out. Leverkusen snapped him up with 6 months remaining, so that was already pre-planned. I already knew I'd be losing him. Elsewhere, Stuart Ferris, he moved on. I tried getting rid of him last year. Ended up leaving now. 1.5 million, very good price. He's in the Premier League with Ipswich, although he's currently in the reserve. So that says something about, how good of a player he really is. Didn't really make a lot of appearances for Villa last season either. He did well though when he did play. But overall, really great player for us. He, over the very important years as well, very important 6 years with us in the, getting promotion from League One back-to-back year, helping us survive and get promotion from the Championship, and then helping us survive in the Premier League for the first year as well. It's just that now we have a lot better keepers than him, so 1.5 million was a good price to pick up. Isik, I don't know, I'm not going to try and pronounce the first name. Not a bad centre-back by any stretch of the imagination. I've actually had a report done on him since then. Good Championship player, good Premiership player for the future. I just didn't see him developing. I mean, he'd been on loan now for 3 years, never done amazingly in any of the divisions. League One, Championship and League One again. He should be doing better in League One. His second time of asking. And he just hadn't done it. And, I thought, I'm going to get rid of him. He's not going to develop to the stage where he's going to be a first team influence. He'll probably just develop to the stage where he could be decent as a backup. So at that point, what's the point of keeping him for a few more years just to maybe have him as backup? So 900k was a good price, I believe, anyway, to pick up for him for a free transfer. We loaned out Egner Conte again to get him some first team experience. Morten Larsen we sold for 2.5 million. We loaned him out last year. Again, not sure if I was going to sell him over this year. I did decide. Free transfer, 2 years worth of work. Did very decent both times of asking. Really helped. Really did develop, jump up well to the Premier League. I know not too much difference between the Championship performances and the League and the Premiership performances. And again, didn't really need him anymore. He's playing in the Premier League though with Coventry, so we will face him at some point in the season. So it shows he was a good player, but it's not good enough for our team. A lot of youth players were released. That's quite a lot of players. Anyway, Tom McCracken, our first left back we signed, getting promoted. 4.4 million. He's gone on loan to Coventry. Just wasn't playing enough. And hopefully he can play well for Coventry. He's not currently, but I hope he gets good game time. Hope he plays decently enough. Help his value go up, and we can aim to sell him next season and get a bit more money out of him. So next guy. Loan out, new signing this guy is. Really, I shouldn't have clicked on him, but we'll go into him now. New signing, bit of potential in him, so that's why I signed him. One of my Germans that are pre-scouted for me, and he's gone to the Championship to play football this season. Hopefully he can develop. Anthony Imperial, new signing last year again. Free transfers from Juventus. Didn't really play well enough in my opinion, so 3.2 million. He's moved on to the Championship team Norwich. It's quite a lot for a Championship team. He's playing decently well for them as well, so maybe that's the level best suited for him. Although I do think he's a Premier League player. Maybe not a Premier League standard I currently am looking for, but definitely, I'm surprised he stepped down to the Championship. Walter Diaz, our Argentinian we sent on loan last year. I've got him back and I didn't want him anymore. It's quite simple, really. I don't feel he's good enough to influence the first team amazingly, so I loaned him out again to Ace. Next guy, Martin Howe, 1.6 million. We signed him a few years ago for 140k. Loaned him out in his second season after 1 year in the Premier League. Loaned him out to Scunthorpe, didn't do amazingly, and again decided he wasn't going to influence the first team enough for me to really feel the need to keep him on. So 1.6 million to Championship team Bolton. Next, we used our affiliation with Crawley. We just got this one created, so I felt like I wanted to use it. So we loaned out Ishmael, you know, the young keeper, which I'm currently selling. Actually, you just saw there, he's waiting for a contract agreement. Kevin Guetti got his work permit sorted out, so I sent him out on loan to Crawley. And the last guy was Robin Prissel. We loaned him out to Crawley as well. And then I'd say these are two major transfers. So Demyanenkov, we sold him for £10 million, our record ever fee brought in. An amazing player for us for the past 2 years, a great free transfer to pick up. You know, 2 years when we really needed a goal scorer, he stepped up and did it amazingly. Very good average match ratings. When the 10 million offer came in, I thought, you know what, it's too good to turn down. He's a great player for us, absolutely amazing. But, you know, when you look at the ins, I think we've got enough to cover him. We've brought in enough to cover him as well. So 10 million was a very, very good price. And Will Brister stepped out, moaned, well not moaned, I'd say, you know, just said he wasn't getting enough to first team football and he wanted to play his football reaching this stage in his career. So I said fine. I said you can go out on loan. So he's gone to Wigan. He's going to try and relive his glory days in League One with us before. And you know, it's sad to see a player, you know, Billericay's been with, not Billericay, Brister, he's been with us all his career. I'm his first favourite personnel. His favourite club is us. He aims to go into management or coaching in the future, so hopefully he can do that and we can sign him on. And his career is pretty much over. Like Mick Miller's at Billericay, you know, that time in our history, that time at the club has moved on. He played in every league with us, did it decently enough. Not as good as Mick Miller, but decently enough. He's our record club goal scorer. So, an amazing player, but you know, like I said, if he wants to move on, he wants to go on loan, I'm going to respect that, so he can do that. So those are the two, I believe, major ones anyway, these two players, just because Will Brister's history and Demyanenkov's, you know, past 2 seasons. But we'll have a look at the ins, and first guy is Andrei Karamin. This is a 24-year-old Ukrainian, just like Demyanenkov, coming from the Ukraine Premiership as well, like Demyanenkov, on a free transfer, like Demyanenkov. This guy is Andrei Karamin, sorry. Great player, amazing stats, amazing physical stats, really. A nice first touch, composure's pretty good, finishing is nicely built into him. Overall, looks like a good player. If we look at his history, you know, look at them average match ratings, pretty much amazing apart from that 1 year, but even then he scored 12 goals. Look at it, an amazing goal scoring record. Really glad to pick this guy up on a free transfer. Overall, I think, you know, he can cover Demyanenkov at least, but we have to find another striker. I'll show you in a second. But you know what? We've got a lot of good strikers now. Looking at leading Premiership player, 3.5 star of Cass Peters. Yeah, I'll go into him a bit later on. He's a new signing. So overall, an amazing signing to pick up on a free. I'm really, really glad we found him. Next guy, another free transfer. A lot of them are free transfers. Next guy, Mali Bakos. Mali, I think that's right. Bakos. Right attacking midfielder. Of course, we needed to cover in from any outgoings. We needed right attacking midfielders. So this is why this guy's coming. He's doing very well. He's doing decently enough for us now. Good Premier League player. Of course, I would have wanted a better right attacking midfielder. You know, someone to take us to that next level. A leading Premiership right attacking mid. Just so we can, you know, won't have to worry about it at least for a couple of years. This guy's coming. He's doing this job decently enough. So I'm happy with that. Sorry about the interruption. There's an ice cream man. So there will be another cut in a second as it drives past my house. But this guy, Tomislav Botic, another right attacking mid coming. This time as backup. He's currently injured. So he hasn't really played a lot. This guy's got potential inside of him. You know, a slightly better right mid, it says he's naturally, but I don't see the difference why you can't play right attacking mid if you're a right midfielder. Again, a bit of potential inside of him. The other guy's playing good enough now. He's currently injured as well, so my dilemma isn't exactly there. But he's got two equally standard right attacking midfielders in the team, and he's coming from City as well, so he must have had some quality for City to sign him. That's my logic there. But of course, it's different, you know, hardly playing for City to stepping up to play for us. Next guy, Alfonso, Very, very good player. I'm really happy to capture this guy. Got some absolutely amazing stacks. You know, technically, B's determination work rate is very, very high. Good bravery as well. Mentally, he's already got it. So technically, he will develop, of course, with his age as well, only being 20. But he's got a leading Premier League player for the future, and he's currently a decent Premier League player. Our centre mids aren't the best positions in the world. So, you know, hopefully we can develop the players we currently have and get them to their potential as quickly as we can. He came from Real Madrid youth system. This happens a lot, Real Madrid youth system. You know, last season we signed a few. This isn't I don't do this on purpose. This is just my scouts scout out different places. My scouts are in Spain looking for players. They find these guys in youth systems. They get released. They're the first people I see when I go on the free transfer search. This guy, Stafak Cryptolus, he come in as our backup keeper. So I mean, I don't expect him to start too many games. Has he actually played? I don't think he has. You know, he made an appearance in the cup. So yeah, like just to come in as a backup keeper. Bruno Squiles, you already know about him. Frank Buer, a young striker, just has potential. Again, wouldn't really expect him to feature much. Just wanted an extra man in the team, considering, you know, like Guetti went out on loan, or Bristol went out on loan, Walter Diaz went out on loan. I just wanted to cement the backup there, so that's why he come in. Our first money signing of the season, Hughes Chami, I think that's how you say that. Coming from Southampton, looks very experienced player, played in Ligue 1 for a long time, and he's done decently in the Premier League, you know, nothing amazing. However, for us, he's doing a lot better. His report currently says decent Premier League player, so, you know, he's not amazing, but like I said, we've got quite a young centre mids. I'm currently playing Alfonso and Christian Rodriguez, so 20 and 19 years of age. This experienced guy comes in, sort of plays in the middle of the park, does the job for him. Very good passing technique, first touch, flair and creativity, so, no, very creative player here, and I like that figurehead, our experienced player on our side. Cas Peters, now, this is a name I've mentioned a few times. For those of you who can remember back to my Billericay Liverpool games, I've mentioned a few times. He scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes against us last. Sorry about the interruption. The ice cream man once more wants to disrupt me. But yep, Cas Peters scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes for Liverpool last season, so I know all 3 points. So, you know, I saw this guy for transfer list. I looked at his stats. I thought, wow. I have to get this guy right now. He's 29, so paying 9 million, I believe is quite a lot. Because I don't really want to be spending too much money. Not that the club can't afford it. Well, they can't really, but not that they don't offer it to me. It's just that, you know, I think 9 million is a lot to play for a 29-year-old player. Of course, for a youngster, that's a different matter in my opinion, because you can get a lot more years out of him. But this guy, you know, he's probably got 2-3 years left in him before his stats really start plummeting. So 9 million is quite a lot, but for the stats he currently has, he's playing as our striker, and, you know, can play left attacking mid. That's a nice option to have, because we do have quite a few good strikers now, and our left attacking mid isn't exactly the most consistent area of the field. So I'm really happy to signing, though. Amazing player to capture. And our last guy is another youngster centre mid who won't feature a lot, so it doesn't really matter too much about. So let's jump to the Premier League table, and where there's, you know, a couple of these signings passed, it puts us in a very, very good 5th place. Currently 10 games in, so 1 game more than I would have exactly liked to have done on this update. But, you know, 10 games, 17 points, drawn with Liverpool. We are surrounded by absolute monsters of teams. Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool are above us, with below Arsenal and Blackburn, you know, 2 former Premier League winners. So we are currently up there with the big dogs fighting. You know, 5 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats. Pretty okay start to the season. 10 goals scored, not as many as those around us, but 6 goals conceded. We're definitely doing our defensive duties in this season. And our past position showed that, you know, we're not out of place up here. It's not like we suddenly shot up the last few games and I'm updating you at the perfect time. We've actually, from the 3rd game, not dropped below 5th place. So, you know, very consistent start to the season, a very good start to the season. I'm hoping we can push on from there. So the tactic I'm going to show you now, actually, I don't normally show you this, but the tactic has changed slightly. I did show you this last season. We can't really play a 4-3-3, but this time we've gone in with control. We're going to look to try and dominate games this year instead of just sit there and absorbing pressure. I believe our team has got to the stage now where we can actually go out there and look to dominate opponents, take the game by the scruff of its neck, you know, pass the ball around, get them shots away, you know, dominate games like a good team instead of just sitting there, sponging and trying to scrape by with a couple of wins, as we've done for the past few years. So with that in mind, you know, looking at the fixtures, had a big pre-season, you know, really wanted to get the tactic built in, really wanted to know my players, make sure everyone was playing well together, make sure the tactic was pretty much done, you know, in terms of fondness by the time we got to the start of the season, and it pretty much was, and that's why I think we got the start we did. So, first game of the year season, we won 2-1 against Liverpool. Cass Peters returning to his old club and scoring against them, giving us the lead. They did equalise 2 minutes later, but by the 30th minute, Craig Williams had given us the lead once more, and that wrapped up the game. And look at that, we matched Liverpool blow to blow, and that was a very, very nice victory. You know, very good 3 points. We'll have a look at Cass Peters' first goal for the club and first goal for the season for us. And then we will move on from there. So, you know, very good victory against Liverpool. One of the top teams there currently, you know, above us as well in the league. So that could be a victory that proves vital by the end of the season. Currently, right now, I don't see why we can't be aiming for Champions League football next season. Here you see Rodriguez up to Peters. Nice touchdown, beats the player, Ishwood, and slots it past the keeper. Second game of the season, however, you know, kind of knocked me down from what I thought was an amazing start. 1-0 defeat to Burnley. Burnley are a team I really would expect to beat. They're currently mid-table as well, so, you know, no reason why either. You know, we dominated the game. Our players didn't play terribly. They didn't play amazingly. You know, Karamin standing out there as the worst performer in our team, and he only got a 6.3 rating, so it's not terribly bad. I mean, I've seen 5 point somethings before. So, you know, overall, just not great. So I want to point out here as well, I'm playing Bruno at centre-back for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I've played him as a centre-mid, even though he's naturally a centre-back. Played him at centre-back, and look at that average match rating. So, I mean, what I've been missing out on. You know, I've been signing these centre-backs, and we've had one always at the club, just never played there, and his stats are amazing. And also another thing I want to point out, Hilgebrand has come back into the team, and he's got a rotation role this year. Like I said, last year, wasn't too sure if I needed him or not, and this year I currently do, so he's still here. So aiming to move on from that Burnley game, we rotated the team, and we played Dagenham and Redbridge. I just wanted to, you know, give a couple of players a try. Connor Cable, that's an ex-player of ours, is it not? Yeah, it is. See? Good to remember your old players. Connor Cable. Yeah, rotated the squad, you know, played a couple of people, you know, Mick Mellor, getting his only appearance of the season so far. He's kind of picked up a knock, 5 months out. I expect his career to be over from that. You know, knee tendons is a dangerous injury. It's a risky injury. Your stats do plummet from that, especially at his age. So, you know, I expect his career to be over, which is pretty sad, but I'll try and give him the Premier League appearance, try and get him an average match rating of 7, try and continue the trend as long as I can. But anyway, yeah, like I say, everyone got rotated in the team, and to come away with a 2-1 victory, they made us work for it, but overall, the victory was the main thing. Next game against Tottenham, we beat them 1-0. Andre Karamin picking up his first goal for us, and Craig Williams getting sent off in the 74th minute. Proving we could hold out for the remaining 15 minutes of the game was very nice to see. And again, we matched Tottenham pretty much blow to blow. I know last year they weren't exactly a great team, you know, just missing out on promotion as Karamin rounds the keeper and slots it home. But just missing out on relegation, you know, so it was a nice victory to pick up all 3 points there. After that, we beat Ipswich 3-1, another dominant performance from us. Despite the fact that we didn't show it in the match stats all the time, all throughout the game, I felt like we were in control. We had the upper hand. Even when they equalised, you know, I felt comfortable in the match performance. And it showed, you know, the team played very well, defensively sound, like I said, in the league table. We're not conceding a lot of goals, so that's a very nice thing to see. You know, Cressinger, our young right back, performing well. Next game, we drew 0-0 to Newcastle at the end of the season last year. Newcastle made us look really, really poor, you know. We had 4 defeats in a row, and Newcastle were one of the teams. They absolutely battered us. They did it almost again this year, but they didn't get a shot away on target this time. So, you know, there was no risk of conceding. It's just a shame we couldn't attack and we couldn't get the goal we wanted, and, you know, it would have proved difference in the end. Burnley are turning out to be a bit of a bogey team for us this year. As yet again, they beat us, this time in the Capital Cup 1 Cup 3rd round, and they beat us despite us playing better than them, which is annoying because we played better than them last game, lost 1-0. I thought, okay, you know, they nicked it. It was 1-0, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just forgot. Maybe it was 1-0. So, you know, like, I mean, 1-0, you can say, alright, they nicked the goal, but this time they beat us 3-0, and we played better than them. You know, they scored twice in injury time, and the 40th minute as well. So by the looks of it, we just switched off at the end of each half, and they capitalised on us. We brung Jefferson on in the end, try and get the goal. You know, Karamin wasn't having an amazing game. Ended up getting himself sent off, so that wasn't great from him. 1 shot on target as well. That's why I brung him on. Our attackers just weren't performing. Cass Peters playing left, attacking mid. You know, just no one played well in this game to the extent that we deserved the win, but we didn't deserve to lose 3-0. And, you know, continued on into our league form as we lost 1-0 to Southampton. Ali Goodchild getting the only goal of the game. And an unsuccessful return for Ticham. Chammy, sorry, not Titchman. Completely thinking of a different person. Chammy, you know, poor performance again. You know, one shot on target. It's not great. But we bounced back, beating Stoke 1-0. Cass Peters getting the only goal of the game. And a dominant performance against Stoke. You know, of course, they've got the reputation in real life of being a difficult team to face. But a very good victory against them, you know. Okay, it was only 1-0. Okay, it was a very early goal. But we managed to hold out, you know, showing good defensive quality there. And Cass Peters slotting home very early off, you know, starting the game very quick. Before them, you know, they didn't seem to be awake at that stage in the game. So, good victory there. We beat Leicester City 2-0. Leicester City can be a difficult team to face, and they've proved it here as they dominated us and made us look pretty poor. But we got 2 goals early on. We'll look at Craig Williams, and then of course they gave away a penalty, earning us all 3 points yet again. So, you know, I have got control. I don't really change the tactic too much going into games because I don't want to lose familiarity. Because sometimes I feel changing it, you know, for every team can sometimes be a hindrance more than a game. You see the defender try tackling. Craig Williams pounced on the opportunity. But overall, you know, didn't play amazingly well, but defensively they held out great. Look at that. Look at them ratings for the defense. And they've proved the difference this season so far as we've held out for a lot of points. Facing Manchester United, another big game, our first big game I'd say since the Liverpool match. And Cass Peters getting us the equalising goal. I think that's a hard-fought point against Manchester United. Again, I played control. I didn't want to change it too much, and we couldn't match United at their own game. You know, they still are that step ahead of us. Although in the league table we are currently around them, I'd say they were a better team by us by far. And you know, it showed here, and we managed to just fight to get a point. And again, defensively, very good after conceding the goal. So hold out, you know, earning us the point. And the last game of the update, we lost 1-0 to Manchester United. I mean, not Manchester United, sorry. We lost 1-0 to Everton. There you go. Mason Bennett, who's played for both Merseyside teams and Tottenham and Huddersfield, sorry, in his time, scoring against us, giving Everton all 3 points. Disappointing, yes, but you know, Everton are quite a good team, and I'd expect them to, you know, perform better than they do in the league, and they beat us here at Goodison Park. So that's how the update ends, you know. That's how the league game ends, sorry, that's how they wrap up. So overall, a very good performance. We've got Blackburn and Arsenal next, so 2 big games. There'll be some good ones to look out for. And we've got Chelsea later on. We've got the return of Larson in the Coventry game. You know, Manchester City as well, away from home. And then we start the fixtures again. So, you know, midway point of the season, it'll be very, very interesting to get there. Hopefully we can go on a cup run. I would like to go on a cup run. We're doing very well in the league, so I believe we can win a cup this year. Financially, we're doing pretty well. Something I forgot to show you in the clauses. Cass Peters' £9 million deal wasn't all up front. 1.1 million will be paid after 20 league appearances. 1.4 million will be paid after 26 league goals, and 83.33k per month will be paid for the next 4 years. My thinking behind the top 2 were he may not play 20 games for us. That seems pretty weird, but he may not play 20 games for us. He may get injured. I may choose to sell him. You know, something may happen, and I may end up deciding to get rid of him. So, you know, I may never have to pay that. And again, the thinking behind, you know, after 26 league goals, he may not score 30 goals ever for us. You know, I have played him in left attacking mid. He may not score enough, so I may never pay 1.4 million. So that's my thinking behind them clauses there. In case you're wondering, I didn't just decide, oh, I'll just offer that one and that one and that one. So yeah, I think we're doing good financially. We're growing definitely. I mean, we're bringing in supporters. We pretty much fill our stadium week in, week out now. We'll have a look at that actually. Average attendance by capacity. They got 96.79% of the stadium full every game. So, you know, we do pack out our tiny little stadium we are given. Our average attendance is currently 15,000. You know, not the highest at all ever. And our salary per annum, I do this at the start of every season. I know I should probably do this at the end as well. Oops, sorry about that. I know I should probably do this at the end as well. But sorry, I need to get back to the stats. But our salary per annum is currently 19th lowest in the league. You know, we don't spend a lot of money. We're doing very, very well indeed. And you know, 32.44 million pounds a year in comparison to the likes that we're above. Blackburn Rovers 42.35 million a year. Arsenal 102 million a year. We're doing amazingly. So this is going to be it for now, guys. So until next time, until halfway through the season, peace out.